I do like the under. I don't think they keep it within the number, though. I think you are going to see Notre Dame run all over Navy. I think it's going to get very ugly from the jump. I think the defense is going to lock them down. Yeah, give me the Snakes. I'll lay it today. I think Merrill Kelly pitches really well against them today, but I just think that bullpen is going to get destroyed.
Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing? Javon just took the meat out and faded his own squad. He's fading the Reds today. This is like Christmas. This is unbelievable. Chat, meat on tape tonight for the Commanders ML. I can't stress this enough. I will have a rack on them in the preseason. That's the most I'm going to put on a team in the preseason because it's preseason. But it's my favorite bet so far of the NFL year. If you're not taking it, I can't help you. Football is here, ladies and gents, and you can make some serious coins responsibly on the Commanders ML. What's going on, folks? Happy BTL 306 piece. Hold the fry as always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Shout out to Jen, bringing the party at 68. Your table is ready, folks. Your table's ready. Make sure you guys check out the Jen streams before BTL every day on his channel. Make sure you go check that out. Okay? Javon, Clemson didn't look too hot last night, bro.
No, they didn't. I tip my cap to you and the rest of the Duke bettors out there.
Yeah, everyone on earth. We all took them, and we cashed. Maybe it was a public Monday. It looked like it was. Okay? Yeah. I'm with you. I don't blame you for taking Clemson in that spot. Duke was definitely very popular, but they came through, and Riley Leonard deserves some respect. That kid's the truth. He's good. Good enough.
Yeah.
He had one crazy play, too, on the ground. We're going to show you guys. Plenty to talk about on this Tuesday slate. I wish we had football tonight. We don't, But we got football we can talk about tonight, Javon. I say we go over a couple college football week 2 look-ahead lines.
I think we do that.
Sure. We'll do some of that. Obviously, we'll talk some Duke Clemson and recap the squad ride W from last night, which was freer than air, literally. We'll go over the Crabs NFL season mag, which is now officially out. Okay, I posted that this morning. Got the graphic, W. Daniel. We're going to go over that quickly and show you guys the survivor pool and how to sign up. It takes 3 seconds. We'll do some cheat sheet action, Javon. We've got a full slate of MLB we need to talk about. And looks like Aaron Judge is already checked out. We'll get to that as well. Plenty of time.
As he should be.
Plenty of time to talk Aaron Judge, go into another sporting event instead of trying to win a wild card for himself and the team with the captain on his jersey. I mean, rip it off. Take it off. Derek Jeter would never do that. If he did, he wouldn't be singing. He wouldn't be celebrating in the middle of the MLB season. But we move, and we'll get to it. All right, plenty of time to talk about it. Are you guys doing another Prize Picks season-long entry for NFL? Segala, I'm happy that you asked. We did one yesterday. Maybe we'll go over that as well. Once again, we'll flash that up on the screen when I go over mine. We'll get to it in a minute. All right, chat. For now, Javon, let's go over this W recap from yesterday. Great work. I mean, that total, that over, absolutely free. Look at that, Javon. 4 green beans for the kid.
Oxygen. Absolute oxygen. Love to see it.
Unbelievable. I mean, chat, you guys know the squad rides are our bread and butter. If you're not tailing these every single day responsibly, grow up. All right, you're losing coins. 121, 82, and 3. That's an incredible record. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Let's keep hitting bets. Plain and simple.
Let's do it.
All right. And Javon, a little sweep for your best bets as well. Why don't you talk that talk?
Yeah, I mean, started with the over, or I guess actually didn't, ended with the over, because I guess the Cubs and Royals were during the day. Those weren't really a sweat. There was not like really one sweaty bet out of those 3. So pretty excited. I think we owed them that after a pretty mid-week throughout the board yesterday, or at least from me. So let's do it again.
Let's run it back. Why not us, chat? Guys, gambling, sports betting, right? It's ups and downs. It's ebbs and flows. It's like a roller coaster. There's going to be weeks you're losing all your bets and they're all terrible beats and you're asking yourself, why me? There's going to be weeks when you think you're a professional sports bettor and you're about to get an MGM car whipping up outside your house, taking you to the casino. All right? It's ups and downs. Keep your head level. All right? I talked about this yesterday. People forget I lost 11 bets in a row between Saturday and Friday. People forget. But you know what, Javon? It happens. And you bounce back. You don't chase. You don't throw your entire bankroll on a play to get it back. You wait. You be patient because the books want you to push. All right? You take your foot off the gas a little bit. You recap, and you go with the card the next day. And I've hit 5 out of my last 6 bets. We moved, chat, a little 3-0 sweep last night as well. Okay, the best bets, not so much, but the big 3 I posted last night, a little sweet piece. How about it? That under was free. Shout out Chelly as well, who's been on absolute fire. It's been start the college football season. I mean, geesh.
Unreal right now.
He's on fire. Got to give respect where respect is due. LC also has been on fire for the last 2 months, and people forget about it. Nobody's talking about it. Make sure you guys follow the goats and are tapped in, especially when they're on absolute fuego right now. Both LC and Shelly leading the charge for the college football season. Got to tip your cap.
Got to. Of course.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Mikey had Duke as well last night. Got to give our shout-outs to everybody. I think Trent also had an incredible day on the books yesterday, too. So we'll take it. Pretty good day overall for the group. Pretty good day overall for the group. Hope you guys watched Squad Ride last night. Give us your comeback lock, Crabs. I mean, 3-0 yesterday, there's nothing to come back to. We're hot. We're hot. All right, guys. I wouldn't want to be in any other place heading into the NFL season than losing 11 bets in a row the weekend before. That's exactly where we want them. Chat, we got the books right where we want them. All right? No stress, no pressure. We're hitting the ground running for this NFL season, and we only got 2 days until the first game. I am stoked. Javon, yes. We're going to talk about it so much tomorrow. We don't need to do it today, but I'm stoked for Thursday night, man.
You and me both. I think it's going to be awesome, especially since I get to see the GOAT come out into that field for the first time.
100%. Sam Laporta. Everyone's talking about it.
Everyone. I think I've seen every single square in that game posted by somebody on Twitter, some capper or whatever, except for the GOAT, man. It's just unreal disrespect in his debut.
Yep. 3-0. What about the lacrosse? Lacrosse 0-3. The big three, though, went 3-0. How about that one? Yankees won 9-9-6. Gosh, was that the last time the Yankees won the World Series, Javon? 1996? It feels like it. Do you think this comment was maybe put in there after I chirped Aaron Judge for not caring about the Yankees and caring about being a captain and going to the U.S. Open and celebrating instead of trying to make the playoffs for the Yankees? That could be why he put that in there.
Could be.
That could be. And look at that. Patrick Corbin just hit 10 Ks today. How about it? Chad, he ain't getting 10 Ks today. All right, let's move.
Not today.
Let's move. Let's groove. We'll get the cheat sheet going here in one moment, okay? Let's talk about Clemson and Duke here for a sec, though, Javon. Look, Cade Klubnik, he might not be that guy. Is this a forced narrative? He might not be that guy. I mean, he was overthrowing people last night. He was fumbling. He couldn't hand the ball off. He couldn't even have some respect for his coach, who I know is a cornball, to dap him up and give him a high five afterwards when they're about to lose. What kind of head case are you? I mean, these kids, Javon, I get it, man. Like, these kids are literally treated like professional athletes when they're 6 years old now, especially a guy like Cade Klubnik, who I'm sure has been extremely talented his entire life. These kids think they're already in the pros. They got no respect. I hate to say it and sound like a boomer. They got no manners. And I am not a Dabo Swinney guy. He probably deserves to get ghosted on a couple of daps with his corny post-game interviews and him talking about how he doesn't care about NIL when behind the scenes he's doing all the same shit. I'm not a Dabo guy. All right, I want that on record. But I'm definitely not a Cade Klubnik guy after seeing him play like crap and then disrespect his coach like that afterwards. Javon, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, it's definitely a strange dynamic to see. And like from a football and coaching perspective, this was probably the one thing that I was a little concerned about going into the season. But I thought, with him bringing in Garrett Riley, with Dabo bringing in Garrett Riley, that he was going to get the keys to the offense. He was going to do great things with Cade Klubnik. And I still think Cade Klubnik's really good. I think what I saw last night was a big X's and O's issue with Dabo. That was my big takeaway from that. He still is, I don't know if it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing, but that offense, watching it last night, it looked really no different than what we've seen the last couple of years, especially last year when they struggled with DJ and then Cade at the end of the season. So that's a problem. That's a massive problem. And until he allows Garrett Riley to take the reins, they ain't going to do anything. So that's a big red flag for Dabo, which, I mean, I'm not the biggest Dabo fan either, but I always respected him as a coach, and I still do to a degree. But what I saw last night is concerning. Yeah.
And number one, yes, Dabo is an attention guy. He's a me guy, right? He might not act like it is with his words, but with his actions, he is. Like, seeing him sprint full speed down that hill like that, it's just ridiculous. I mean, let the kids play. They should be the focus, Dabo. You look like a bozo doing that stuff. But number two, I don't care, how much of a, sleazeball he is. You look like a cock when you're running off the field and you're not dapping up your coach like that, and the clip goes viral, and now it looks like you guys are in even more rat piss. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. I've always been a team guy. I've been a team guy my whole life. Seeing stuff like this, it drives me nuts. I don't understand it. But either way, their season's done, so it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Riley Leonard for a second?
I
know, Javon, you were hesitant to gas him up. And yeah, sure, he might have only thrown 50% and he might not have been, elite through the air. But the guy kept Duke in the game the entire time in the first half when it was close, and he made huge plays when they needed it. This kid clutched up last night. This play was absolutely insane. I mean, there's a handful of guys who can pull this off at the QB position in college football, and he's one of them. Give the guy some respect. Riley Leonard, against one of the best defenses in football, played pretty damn good last night. And he made huge plays when they needed it most, just like this one. Javon, you're not going to give him the respect, though. I can tell.
Well, he made the plays when he needed to. That's where I'll give him credit there regardless of how terrible Clemson looked in every form of the game. He made them when they needed to. He made great plays. This play was absolutely awesome. So I give him his credit there, but I do want to see it over the course of a season, especially when, Clemson handed them multiple occasions of great field position. They had horrendous tackling the whole game. So it's kind of the same thing that I feel with like Shedeur. Like, I think from a coaching perspective, I'm more impressed than with the individual talent that we saw from Riley Leonard. But like you said, he made the plays when he needed to. So credit to him there. I think it's more of an anti-Clemson thing from what I saw yesterday than a pro Duke and pro Riley Leonard thing.
Okay. That's fair. I will say he did it all last year. It was against Bozo teams, though. They did have a cupcake schedule, but he did it all last year. He did. Lieutenant Goose coming in with a sub bang. Ty Pacino coming in with a sub bang. My goat from Baltimore. What's up, Beast? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. You gave out a sub as well. That's my guy, Ty. Hope you're doing well, Beast. Javon, look, this kid's, and I love seeing clips like this. We'll show you guys and we'll play the audio. It's crazy to think that these kids at the end of the day are still in class, right? And they're still technically students. And I guess at Duke, maybe it does mean a little bit more than if you're just at Bama when you're literally not a student at all. But listen to this clip, chat. Listen to this kid after the game, after he wins and clutches up and knocks off Clemson. This is what he says.
Professor Taylor, if you're seeing this, please let me turn in my homework late because it's due tonight, I think at 12, so it may already be 12. Professor
Unbelievable. He goes, Professor, please let me turn in my homework. I know it was due at midnight. He's like, shit, it's probably already midnight. But throw the kid a bone. And I swear to God, if Professor doesn't give the kid an A or let him turn in his homework a day late after that, you're just the worst. You're the worst.
You might not even have to turn it in at this point.
Yeah. Give the kid an A and you move. You just beat Clemson at home. Give me a freaking break.
Yeah.
All right, give the kid a pass. I like this kid, Javon. Not only do I like his play style on the field, and he does remind me of Daniel Jones, which is not really, that crazy of a comp. Daniel Jones went to Duke. He reminds me a little bit of a DJ. He's a runner, maybe a little bit more of a runner, maybe not as strong in the air. I'll give you that. His arm, he's not as accurate. I'll give you that. But this kid, the way he runs, the way he makes plays and keeps them alive, it's so impressive. He says stuff like this. And then you got, his mom sending him texts before every game, Javon, telling him he sucks. Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Imagine you're about to go into a game against Clemson. You're literally about to get your shit rocked. You know you're going to get sacked and stung at least a couple times and probably not even know where you are for a couple seconds after. And you look down right before the game, you get a text from your mom, and it says you suck. Okay, this is what Riley Leonard's been doing for years, chat. And I'll tell you what, I fucking love it. Okay, he says everyone always tells him, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's like we talked about with Kate Klubnik growing up. I'm sure he was the greatest thing since sliced bread, was probably the best player in his state growing up. It's a little reminder to keep your head in check, right? And not let your ego get the best of you. And I think more players need shit like this. And maybe that's kind of the issue going on in Clemson right now. You got a lot of me guys out here who aren't even going to dap up your coach after you're about to lose your first game of the season.
Yeah.
Too many me guys, John. And I'll tell you what, Riley Leonard, that's a team player. And I don't think it's a coincidence they pulled out a win last night at home. I love their coach. I think he's underrated. I think he's done a great job turning this program around in a year and a half. And I like Riley Leonard and his style. I do. Blue collar, man. He should have been a Hokie. Krabs gets the same text from his mom before he posts his car. You suck. Yep. I mean, I would have deserved it this weekend. That's facts. The Heisman is crazy. Guys, so many quarterbacks had great performances this past weekend. Don't just say, the biggest name, Caleb Williams, is going to win the Heisman for the entire season. Obviously, it's probably going to happen. But if you're calling people out for saying other people are going to win the Heisman after week one, you're the problem. Okay? If you want to be a square and just say Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman and be right, sure. But what fun is that? What fun is that, chat? Give me a break. What are your thoughts on this "you suck" wristband and the "you suck" text Riley Leonard gets from his mom before every game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to keep him in check after all of the slurpers that he's going to be getting for the rest of the season now. Or I don't even know about the rest of the season because they're probably going to lose by 4 touchdowns against Notre Dame in a couple weeks. Okay. But until that point, he's going to be very, very popular, and there's a lot of hype around that campus. So a good way to keep him in check, and it's something that he's done his whole life. But that's pretty funny to see.
I love it. That's blue collar right there, man. That's how you keep your head, keep your ego in check. When everyone's telling you you're the greatest thing ever, you got to be humble. It could help a little bit. I freaking love it. Riley Leonard, you're a beast. Great win last night. Great win. And how about that Duke win total? Looking pretty good after that win as well. Yeah. Love to see it. All right. Javon, you want to do a couple week 2 look-ahead lines here real quick? We'll power through some of the big games for Saturday.
Yeah, we can take a peep.
Sure. I wish we had more options for Friday and Saturday. Much. And we'll talk about those crummy games, the day of when we need to and get you guys winners. But right now, let's take a peep at some of the best games for Saturday. Obviously, you guys know where we're starting. All right, we'll cut the shit, rip the Band-Aid off right now, and let's go to Colorado. They're laying 3 against Nebraska. Javon, I think they opened up a 5-point dog for a second.
For a second. Then they opened up a
literally
5-point favorite. 5-point favorite when they reopened it, yeah.
So they went from, plus 5-ish to what, -5? And now they're down to -3?
Yeah.
Whew. What does that line movement tell you?
I mean, I was not surprised to see it initially flip because, I mean, they opened as an underdog. Everybody on Twitter freaked out. They're like, this is the easiest bet of all time. So, of course, they're going to adjust. Now it's starting to come back down, which is pretty interesting. This is going to be a crazy game. Probably, I mean, the Nebraska-Colorado rivalry is one of the, I think, most slept-on ones because it hasn't been in form for the last handful of years, and both of these teams have been pretty horrendous for most of these seasons. Not that Nebraska's great, not that Colorado's great, but this is the most hype you're going to see in this matchup for some time. And this has got to be the most public spot of this season. So it might just have to be something we had to do.
You want to take a guess at the splits? And yes, chat, we did buy the Visten splits, okay, because we're dedicated and we did it for you. So I'm looking at these splits right now, and I'm not going to show you guys anymore because I don't know if that's allowed now that you have to freaking pay for these. But I'll tell you guys what the splits are. I mean, Javon, you want to take a guess at the money and handle percentage for the ML on Colorado?
I'd be shocked if there's a quarter of handle in bets.
91% of bets and handle are on Colorado ML.
Yeah.
91.
Not shocked.
You want to take a guess at the spread splits?
Probably pretty similar.
Yeah, it's worse. 94% of bets, 93% of handle on Colorado -3. Check out this tweet, W. Goods. There are more bets on the Colorado-Nebraska game than 14 NFL games this week. I saw this all over my feed last night. The 2 most bet games in all of football this weekend, and we know football is the most bet sport in the world. Number 1, Thursday Night Football, Chiefs-Lions, not a surprise. Number 2, Nebraska-Colorado. And I'll tell you what, nobody's betting the Huskers. No chance anyone's betting on Nebraska in that spot. And I'll tell you what, I'll take my chances and roll the dice with Jeff Sims, and I'll take the 3 points, and I'll move. Give me them.
There we go.
Give me the points.
Here we go.
Do you think I lock this in now, or do I wait?
Wait. I mean, it's not going to matter much. I don't think the line you get on this game, it's going to be one way or the other. Plus, I mean, you get to see some increasing action and maybe a move down towards Nebraska. God forbid if they get down. They've already gotten down 2 points. If they get down to that +2.5, that's a sweet spot in football, especially in the NFL, but even so in college.
Chad, I want to know, honestly, what are the chances that Coach Prime or one of the players on that team saw one of those tweets from this weekend? Because this tweet's kind of blew up a little bit.
He's lurking. He's lurking right now.
I'd say there's at least, legitimately, there's a 20% chance that either Coach Prime or somebody on that team saw one of those tweets. There's no way that nobody did. I'd say there's at least a 20% chance, and that's being conservative. It's probably hung up in their freaking locker room.
Yeah, he's got it posted every single locker, just a printout of that tweet.
He's talking about keeping receipts. This could be the main receipt they have hung up in the entire freaking football facility. He's got this pinned and taped freshly every morning for every player in their locker. Oh, unbelievable. Chad, I'll be honest with you. I still have hope, and I still think this future hits. And anyone else talking shit, unless you have a Colorado more than 3.5 win totals future, I don't care about your opinion because I have 5 units on this. And unless you're putting your money where your mouth is, you're a bozo, and your opinion doesn't matter. Okay? So unless you want to put some money right now after week 1, after this big win, and buy high on Colorado and Coach Prime after an unbelievable win against TCU, unless you're putting those coins and showing me a slip, you can go ahead and zip the lips, all right, and throw the key out because we don't need it. All right, I still feel good about this future.
You can still take them live to make a bowl game if people feel so confident.
Yeah, take them to make a bowl game. Take them to win the Natty. Take Sanders to win the Heisman. Take Coach Prime to win Coach of the Year. Take Colorado to win the Natty. They might not lose again. Guys, it's been 1 week.
Yeah, the guy who spams in the chat every single time between our show and Surgical Stream, Colorado to win the Pac-12. He actually thinks that money's coming home, man.
You know what, though? I will say he's been spamming that for weeks. He gets a pass because he probably does have a bet on it, and he's been talking about it. So he gets a pass. The people coming in after 1 week and after they win one game, talking about how that game counts as 4. You guys are bozos, and you have no patience, and you don't even understand that one win means nothing. They have to win 3 more. And once they get into Pac-12 play against an elite Pac-12 that didn't lose a game in week 1, the best Pac-12 I've ever seen in my entire life, yeah, good luck, Colorado, winning some of those games when your team starts getting hurt and tired midseason, and you got to travel around the freaking West Coast. Good luck.
Just the first 2 games, Oregon and USC. That's their opening Pac-12 schedule. They will not be in either of those games for a second.
Good luck. Yeah, sources are saying that maybe they have an audible called Crabs. It's a Hail Mary, and it works. Oh, man. All right, we got Lar Bear coming in, dropping a follow. First-time chatter, need a guaranteed yaya today. Lar Bear, first time in here, huh? We do our squad ride, best bet of the day, every single day in the last 10 minutes of this show, 1:50 p.m. Eastern. That's the play you want to take. That's the one. All right, so stick around. All right, W's, first-time chatters. Love it. All right, Javon, let's talk about Purdue and VT. If you're done talking about Colorado and Nebraska, are you going to be on Nebraska in that spot?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of have to. It's a mandatory play.
I mean, especially with you. I mean, did you take Colorado the win total or no?
Yeah, I took it. I mean,
you took it. Okay.
I didn't nuke it like you did, but I had units.
All right. Just want to know what Nebraska is better at than Colorado. Hey, Gambling State U. If the better team won every week, they wouldn't play the games.
Yeah, like what are we talking
Dumbest
about?
comment ever.
This is football.
I guess just don't even play the football games. You don't want anybody getting hurt or getting a concussion. So just when the lines close right before kickoff, everyone just walks off the field and goes home, and they give the team who's a favorite to win. Guys, listen to what you're saying.
I mean, if you want an actual answer to the question, too, Colorado's defense is miles behind Nebraska. It's not even remotely close.
Dude, Jeff Sims is going to run all over that Buffalo's defense. It's going to get ugly. Ugly. Guys, TCU lost that game. Colorado didn't win that game. Did Travis Hunter and Sanders help? Yeah, they helped a ton. They played great. Got to tip your cap. They did. No disrespect to them whatsoever. They balled. But, guys, if you don't think Nebraska and their defense is going to look better than News this past weekend, I don't think it's possible to look worse. I'm sorry, Javon, but I don't think it's possible to look worse, man. I've never seen a team miss that many tackles. I've never seen a team play prevent defense an entire game.
Yeah. The one thing that people forget too is they talk all about Colorado and how many transfers they had. That's hard to game plan for as an opposing coach when you have no tape on anything remotely close to this offense and you have a bunch of new guys that are going to be in completely different roles. So, I mean, TCU, their defense was terrible, but a part of that is they can't game plan for it. And now, for the first time, you're going to have some tape on it. So we'll see how coaches are able to adjust. And, I mean, it sucks because I want to see Deion Sanders do good, money and bets aside, because, what they're doing in college football is awesome, but we got to pump the brakes. We got to be realistic here. They beat a team that's probably going to be a borderline bowl-eligible team. So it's not all that impressive yet.
Yep. 2 things. Number 1, Crabs, is football your best sport to bet on? Yep. 55% in college football last year, 61% in NFL last year, all tracked, all public, all legit. That is my best sport, especially NFL. Number 2, Javon, that's a great point you bring up. And I wanted to bring this up on BTL, and I forgot to put this in the outline, but talking about how they had no film on Colorado and all these new guys and not giving an advantage to TCU, you are 100% right. And I misspoke this weekend when I talked about San Jose State versus, I think it was, Oklahoma State or Oregon State? Which one was it? Oregon State?
Are you talking about this week?
Yeah, this past weekend it just happened.
Yeah, Oregon State.
Oregon State and San Jose State. I talked about San Jose State having an advantage because they had a game under their belt and Oregon State hadn't played yet. That was incorrect. That was a dumb statement that came out of my mouth. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. That's on me. That was a shit wager. And that was a bad angle. If anything, it actually hurts that team because the other squad now has film on them and what they do this season, and it hurts San Jose State. And the coach talked about it during the game, and that's when I came to this realization. Guys, I'm not right all the time. All right, but we're learning every day. We're getting better. And I'm letting you guys know that is not an advantage for a team like San Jose State in that spot. It actually hurts. So great point, Javon. I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
100%. All right, now we can talk about Purdue and VT for 3 seconds. How about this line, Javon? What the heck? I know the Hokies get respect at home in Lane Stadium, and I know Purdue stinks this year. Their coach left, and they didn't look good last week. I know. They lost. But are you kidding me? VT laying 3.5 now? Or is that 2.5?
2.5. 2.5.
Okay, so it did pull back from 3 to 2.5. Either way, I don't care. They opened up +1. What the hell is going on here? The Hokies do not deserve this respect, Javon. I wouldn't blame you for betting Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue, I don't think the line's all that weird because I think Purdue especially
sucks.
They looked bad. Yeah, 100%
Yeah.
in the game this past weekend. They lost outright to Fresno, who is a decent team. So, like, it's not a terrible loss in my book, at least. But I'm not shocked to see the Hokies favored here at home. I think it would definitely sound an alarm for me with Purdue losing this past weekend in a disappointing fashion if they're favored. So, I don't know.
Okay.
This is a weird toss-up game.
Yeah, give me the under. Once again, there will be no points in this game. Not from us, at least. None.
I don't know if I trust that Purdue defense after last week.
Well, good thing we got Grant Wells playing QB. I mean, he looked like he was throwing with his eyes closed. Oh.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they put in the Baylor transfer, Kylan, I believe is his name, the guy who transferred from Baylor, the backup QB. They put him in for goal line reps. He was atrocious.
Yeah.
Looked like he was running backwards. Oh,
I tried to tell you that. I remember you were getting super excited about him when he transferred there initially. There's a reason he's out of Baylor. There's a reason why Blake Shapen, who got rolled all of last season and then looked terrible when he was playing against Texas State this week, he won the job and it wasn't even remotely close out of him. So, yeah, they suck.
Yep. VT sucks. Purdue sucks. That game stinks. I was just surprised to see VT getting up to -3, to be honest with you. But, I mean, they always get more respect than they should at Lane, and that, probably deservedly so because that place is impossible to play at. I'll give them that. And it's not like Purdue's walking in there every year, right? They're not playing at Lane Stadium. They're not walking into that intro. And I get it. But our team is dog water. Would not blame anybody for taking Purdue. All right? Let's talk about Notre Dame and NC State. Unless you got any Georgia plays, but I sure as hell don't.
Certainly don't.
Okay. Let's go to Notre Dame and NC State here, folks. We've got the Irish laying 7.5, I believe, on the road against Brennan Armstrong. And NC State, the Wolfpack. Javon, are we fading the Wolfpack this weekend?
I don't want to fade the Wolfpack. It's hard because I do look at this probably a little more biased than some, but this is a Notre Dame team that I'm like super high on. I think they're going to be fantastic this season. I've talked about that plenty of times. They look good early. But when they go on the road, especially to NC State, it's always a dogfight. And I think it's going to be a defensive battle here, especially with a team in Notre Dame who I think is going to run the ball down NC State's throat. You have new clock rules, which are – you talk about that like it's not going to have much effect on the total. The books have adjusted, which off topic, but we talked all about that. Everybody talked about the totals being affected. There are a lot more overs that hit this week than unders. So the books know that. But when you're talking about a Notre Dame team kind of pulling away in this game, that's where I have some hesitance. So I think it's going to be a pretty close game throughout. So I'm not huge on fading NC State.
Well, I sure as heck wouldn't want to be taking them. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
That totals up from 50.5 to 51. Do you think we get some points in this game? Or do you think Notre Dame's D-line shines?
I think both these D-lines really shine. Notre Dame a little more. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring dogfight. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go over kind of early with like a flurry of scores, and then the defenses really lock in. So I have no real opinion on the total, but I could very easily see this being a back and forth within a touchdown game, like all the way through.
Okay. W's. And also, I mean, I didn't write this down the outline, but we going to talk about this Utah-Baylor line. Now that Baylor doesn't have a quarterback, and they're only getting, 6.5 points against Utah, who looked incredible last week?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say they looked incredible, but
pretty good.
They looked good enough. I mean, that was another game where I think everybody was more on like the logical side of Florida was absolute garbage, and Utah just took advantage of a lot of their mistakes. Utah was decent. I wouldn't say fantastic, but yeah, this is interesting. This is one where I probably don't want to go near backing Baylor because I do think they are just as bad. But a lot of things do happen. A lot of weird things happen when teams go to Waco that usually don't go there. So if Baylor locks in defensively, another game that I think will be pretty low scoring relatively, especially if we get another game with no Cam Rising, which I assume with the line probably are.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be shocked. But I'm a passing back in the home dog here.
Okay. Yeah, it might be too nasty. Let's see how bad Baylor really is this week. We'll know more when Utah goes down there. Okay.
Yeah.
We move, we groove. Let's talk about Texas A&M and Miami. How about the Aggies laying 4.5 on the road here, Javon? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is I really don't know what to think of either of these teams at this point. I will say Weigman looked absolutely fantastic for Texas A&M, not just because he was putting up points against a pretty putrid defense, of course, but he's making throws that you haven't seen a Texas A&M quarterback make in a while. That offense looks like much more stretched vertically than I think we've seen with that offense in a while. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's a lot of people got burned fading Miami last week. I wouldn't be surprised to see another little short home dog here being pissed. Maybe we get a good Texas A&M performance on the road for once in non-conference.
Hey, Miami showed out in week 1, but I'll tell you what, they were getting chirped all week from Miami of Ohio, getting roasted, and I don't blame them. And they've probably been dealing with this. Miami has for the last year and a half, where they've had these big expectations and they've been so mid. They've been getting chirped probably out the wazoo for the last year and a half. I think they said enough is enough. We're not fucking losing to Miami of Ohio. Give me a break, gentlemen. We got 4 stars. We got a 5-star. This is Miami. We're not losing to Miami of Ohio. Get a grip. Okay, so I'm not really overreacting to that win. I honestly think that was more of let's beat the crap out of this other Miami team that thinks, they're better than us. Give me a break. We're the U. Yeah. Okay? I'm not really looking into that too much. I really don't even care they won that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, you give your Miami, Ohio, giving Miami bulletin board material, that's a recipe for disaster. And
are you a Van Dyke guy?
No, not really. Especially against what's going to be a pretty good defense, especially in terms like the one he's going to face. He's not going to face many great defenses in conference, if any. So I'll be interested to see how he reacts this week. And I know he's had a little lingering injury problem, which seemed to be, for the most part, solved. I couldn't really tell in week 1 if it was just a Miami, Ohio thing or if he was just good and ready to go. So we'll see.
He wasn't really running.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
50. They were up 50.
That's why it's kind of hard to figure out. So, I don't know. I definitely, first look, lean the Aggies here.
Okay. I think I lean the over in this game. I could see some points. I don't really see Miami playing any defense. A&M's offense looked good last week against the dog shit opponent, though, but they did. Total's up 2 points, Javon. I wouldn't hate squaring up and taking this over between these two teams.
Yeah, don't hate that.
Okay. W's. A tale as old as time, Javon. We got Ron Muxclam coming in here giving out a sub bang. Let's freaking go, Ron. Chat, can we get some W Rons in chat? All right, he's mucking clam. He's giving out a sub bang every single day the last week. Let's get some W Rons in chat. He's an absolute beast. We hung out with him in Hoboken a couple weeks ago. Had a good time.
Yeah,
W
Ron.
That's what I'm talking about. Colin, Snapping Giant, Larbear, thanks for the follow, guys. If you're in here for the first time, drop a follow. Okay, we go live every day talking sports bets. All right, we move. SMU, Oregon. You want to talk about that one? Or Oklahoma, I apologize. Yeah. SMU and your Oklahoma and Dylan Gabriel. I mean, they're looking good. But, Javon, you like SMU as well this season, don't you?
I do.
So what the hell are you going to do this weekend?
Definitely lean towards Oklahoma on this one. I think they're going to be I'm big on SMU's defense kind of improving because they got some transfers in. They looked a lot better last week. But I think they're going to be decent in the AAC, not against Oklahoma, whose offense looks absolutely ridiculous to begin the season. And yes, it was against Arkansas State, so take it with a grain of salt. But even if you look at some of the early games last season, Dylan Gabriel didn't look this comfortable. This offense didn't look as good as it did. The run game wasn't as strong. So I think they absolutely blow the doors off of SMU. I think this is a 3-4 touchdown game. So can probably catch me on that 16 or whatever we see it move to.
I got a weird feeling in my gut that you might have hit the lottery with this future, Javon. Do you want me to just leave it at that?
Yeah, we can leave it at that.
Leave it at that?
To be honest, I felt pretty good of what I saw at Oklahoma, but also I felt pretty good about what I saw from Texas and Quinn Ewers about especially early in that game. He did not look good. And he came back and put up box score numbers against Rice like he should have, but feel good about Oklahoma and Dylan Gabriel, especially in the Big 12, which I talked about being pretty weak, and now we're starting to kind of see it, and it's week 1. So we'll find out.
Yeah. you guys are in a good spot. Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
I still want to take them. I want to add a little bit more and take them to make the college football playoffs. I might find a way to sprinkle on that this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
All right. You don't think there's going to be any trouble with Oklahoma this weekend against SMU?
It'll be tricky because, I don't think their defense is going to be locked down or anything against SMU. I really like their offense. Preston Stone looked really good last week too. So it's going to be a back-and-forth game. The total's at 70 for a reason. These are two really good offenses, and I think we see a shootout. I just think Oklahoma is going to outrun them at the end of the game, especially in the run game. No pun intended there.
Yeah. I just think you found an undervalued program this season who's been down, who has a great coach, who didn't make the necessary changes in his first year, but I trust Venables. You have an undervalued QB in Dylan Gabriel, who's been looking good all offseason and looked great in week 1, right? They're in a weaker Big 12 this season. I just feel like you picked a great spot this year to back Boomer Sooner, and we'll see how it plays out. They still got to play the games, chat. They still got to play the games.
They do.
All right?
Hope they continue rolling for a little bit.
100%. 100%. Let's go to Oregon, Texas Tech. Now we can talk about the Ducks. Is there a little bit of a Bo Nix overreaction, Javon?
No.
You're buying in?
So. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm buying in, but I'm not necessarily calling it an overreaction. I think this team, regardless of how it plays out on both sides of the ball, they're not going to win games in the Pac-12 or even this game with their defense necessarily. But the fact that they're one of the only non-improved teams defensively in the terms of personnel is worrisome in the Pac-12. But in this game, it's such a weird spot because Texas Tech's won on the road and got upset by Wyoming, where, to be honest with you, they were very disappointing, not just in the fact they lost the game, but all the players that were getting off-season hype, including at the quarterback position, they didn't look all that great. So to see this, I think you're going to see Texas Tech a little better offensively. I know they put up 33 points in that game, but some of those came in overtime. They didn't score, I think, a touchdown until the last, the entire second half, until right at the end of the game, which was pretty interesting. So I think they put together a little better of an offensive performance, but another one where I don't love taking the home dog here because I just think they're going to get outgunned in the end. So I want to see
vibes a little bit.
It does a little bit, but at the same time, these are two very similar games. So I wouldn't be shocked to see it, split. Not that these are the only games that look like it's on the slate, but I'll be interested to see where both of these lines move, and then maybe take a look at some of the squares on Prize Picks and see if there's anything pretty telling there. But yeah, it's tough to read this Texas Tech team right now because I was kind of with everybody on some of the offseason hype. I didn't think they'd be great, but I think they would take advantage of a weak Big 12, be one of those teams. It's really disappointed what I saw.
Yep. I think I will be on Texas Tech in this spot. I think I am willing to buy the hype from them preseason, like you were talking about, after a horrid week 1. This team still has a QB. This team, I feel more comfortable backing than Baylor after what I saw last week. I think it's a little bit of a better spot, not as nasty. Taking Baylor this week at home is like backing Patrick Corbin to do well. Okay, it might work sometimes. You might look like a genius, but 80% of the time when it loses, it's going to be bad. It's going to be ugly. So it might not even be worth backing that bad of a team or guy. Maybe Texas Tech, that team a little more solid. Give me the 6.5 points at home here against Oregon, who just put up an 80-piece last week, and people were overreacting a little bit to that. So K-Stabs is saying Corbin's getting 10Ks today. I'll believe it when I see it, bro. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, we're going to get to MLB here soon. We got a couple more games to talk about. Definitely can't miss this one, Javon. Texas, Alabama. 7.5 spread I'm seeing here. Sure. So now that spread's moved back a half point towards Bama when this news is coming out that 2 of their starting secondary men are going to be potentially out due to injury. Maybe it doesn't even matter.
Shouldn't. I can't say I've seen much from Quinn Ewers, not just like last week at Rice, where he was pretty terrible, but even two rushes of last season that have told me that he's going to be able to do anything against Alabama on the road here. So I'm sticking to my guns. I've been probably looking forward to this for a couple weeks now, fading Texas, not just because I don't like them, but I'm kind of with Dave, how he came on here and said everybody's fading Nick Saban, and I'm not on the train to back him throughout the course of the season necessarily, but this is a spot where I think they remind everybody they're still here.
I'm not going to lie to you, Javon. I think I might be on the points here in the spot. Splits look sharp for now. Banged up secondary for Bama. I'm not saying Texas goes in there and wins that game, but I am saying they might keep that within a touchdown. I'm definitely not laying Bama -7.5. It's like taking the Yankees. I don't care how bad they've been. I don't care how much people are off of them. You're still back in the best program in the sport in recent history. Okay? Yankees not so recent, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's the same type of thing. So even though Bama might not be Georgia this season, Bama might not be, the number one team who everyone's slurping, they're still Alabama. Okay, and I still feel good with my coins on Texas on the road on a 7.5-point spread with a banged up secondary. I mean, Quinn Ewers, I'm not a big believer. I'm with you on that, Javon, but this could be exactly what the doctor ordered to give Texas a chance to keep this a one-possession game. And right now, that's where I'm leaning.
Fair enough.
All right. We move. We got 3 more games to touch on here. One of them, Javon, I know you're stoked about. We'll get to it in a second. Let's talk about Arizona, Mississippi State real quick. You think there's some value on the Wildcats getting the points? And also, I'm a fan of this over. I think Arizona, their defense is going to be weak. They're going to give up some points here to Mississippi State at home. But I do think Arizona and that elite offense is going to run it up a little bit too. And I like the over, which has moved up a couple points already.
So I do like points here. But my one concern with taking this over when I looked at it is I think Arizona's run game or run defense might give up 300 yards. Mississippi State's going to run all over them. So I'm going to be looking for some props in this game or prize pick squares, certainly with the Miss State backfield. So I think there's a reason why you're getting the 9.5 up to 10 now, and it's getting juicier on their side. That Arizona, like as much as I love their offense, their front seven is going to get run over throughout this entire game. So I don't mind the over because I do think they're going to be pretty explosive on their end. But if Miss State is just chugging clock on the ground, that wouldn't surprise me to see it sneak under.
U of A fan here. Defense blows. Yep.
Yeah, this is like Mississippi State too. They're not full Mike Leach offense now, of course. They're a lot more invested in the ground game in the first place. Now they get to go against one of the RIP. Now they get to go against one of the weakest rush defenses that they'll face all season, probably the weakest in an FBS team. So I think they're going to go for 300 on the ground.
You're a little worried that clock's going to be ticking the whole time, pretty much?
Yeah, that's my only concern there. But I do think Miss State wins this by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right, maybe I'll stay off Arizona then in this spot, but I do still like that team, that offense with Deloria. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
2 more games, Chad, then we're going to do some baseball talk. All right, no stress. We got Auburn and Cal. Javon, it's the game you've had circled for weeks on your calendar, bro. Cal looked pretty sharp last week on the road, getting a big-time win against the fake sharp Mean Green. Are they bringing the heat this week at home against an overvalued Auburn team?
You know they are. In this game, like I'm huge on Cal's offense for like the entirety of the season, not just because of what we saw last week, but that was kind of my feelings coming in. But this week, I think the defense might be a little better than people expect, especially because like Auburn, they're going to want to run the ball down your throat, and especially against a Cal front seven that is a little smaller than them. But the Cal strength of their team on that defense is with the linebackers. They're one of the best Pac-12 linebacking cores, at least in pursuit, that you're going to see. So I think they'll be able to contain the Auburn run game a little bit. Wasn't really thrilled with what we saw from Auburn's rush defense either on the other side, which when you have Jaden Ott and the little 3-headed almost backfield for Cal, I think you're going to find some success regardless of whoever's at quarterback. So I'm really happy that we saw the 7 opener, and now it's starting to tick down. That's 6.5, 5.5, some spots now. They're winning this game.
ML Sprink.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the one that's a non-negotiable. Sprink, of course.
Oh, yeah. All right, chats. You heard it here first. Could be an upset brewing late night Saturday night. All right. One more game. Could be 2. Are you segueing into the last game?
Yeah, just maybe.
All right. Give me your thoughts on Oklahoma State ASU. What are you thinking?
I mean, it's just such a weird position for Oklahoma State to be in. And I'm not going to act like Arizona State's been all that impressive either, but they have a 3-quarterback situation now with Rangel, Gundy, and Alan Bowman, who are none of them really look great. Gunnar Gundy, I guess, looked the best out of the 3 against Central Arkansas, but they were terrible in that game. So for me I kind of somewhat circled this game as being pretty weird. Yeah, I 100% agree. I circled this as being pretty weird, and I was hoping that this could be a sneaky win or a sneaky loss, I guess, for Oklahoma State on their win total. Kind of thinking it's going to be. Arizona State is looking better, I guess. I saw them at some points in the game show flashes. There's a couple weird spots in the games, obviously, early in the season when you had the little, the long 2-3 hour delay, whatever it was. Like, not that I want to just kind of throw that game out of the window, but that was a super weird spot to be in for that game. Kind of got anemic after that. But now I think Rashada tears up that defense. And I've seen nothing from Oklahoma State offensively to make me scared. There's no continuity there. There's no explosiveness. The only shred of offense they got was in the fourth quarter when they just wore down Central Arkansas and ran the ball down their throat. So, like, until they figure out the quarterback situation, I'm out on that team.
Okay. And honestly, it's pretty impressive for Arizona State to find a way to win that game and make sure they didn't blow their season after that crazy-ass lightning delay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right. Well, it sounds like our 3 favorite plays right now for college football week 2 look ahead would be Nebraska +3 against Coach Prime and Colorado. I believe it'd be Cal +6.5 against Auburn back in your college football future of the year. And we got Arizona State late night grabbing the points. We might need them here. +3.5 against Oklahoma State at home. Yep.
I do think this is, if you get to the late nights and you're looking for some sprint action, one of these teams is winning. I think both of them are winning, but one of them at minimum is hitting. I do think in the case of Oklahoma State, Arizona State, the points will be a little more helpful, but I do like the Pac-12 dogs this weekend at night.
All right. Late night Pac-12. Look, I feel like it's scripted. It's meant to be for the Pac-12 to be elite in their final season, right, where they have these teams, and I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Give me those late night electric games, chat. Give me them. All right?
100%.
All right. W college football week 2 look ahead tomorrow, chat, and Thursday. We're going to do a ton of NFL futures talk today. We want to do some college football for the weekend since these lines dropped today. All right. Now, can I interest you, ladies and gentlemen, in the Crabs NFL season-long Megalodon? Do you have a moment?
Good.
Do you have a moment to take a peep and lock in the NFL season, Meg? Javon, a couple of these squares. I know they have your seal of approval here. Dak Prescott, you're down to get nasty and tail that one, less than 12.5 picks. Jalen Hurts, that's going to be a little bit of a sweat. Chad, I had Javon help me with that one a little bit. Couldn't figure out exactly how we wanted to fade him, but I think this is probably the best way. You know, not saying I'm hoping he gets hurt, but he's been pretty healthy recently, and the way he plays, you never know. So I think this is probably the best way to fade Jalen Hurts on the season is his less than passing yards. And then obviously, Javon, I know you're big on Deshaun Watson this year, but I'm sure you can get behind that offense looking good and getting Nick Chubb to the goal line in a year where he's the only real running back in that backfield.
Yeah, finally.
Yep. So Deshaun gets into the one, and they hand the ball off to Chubb, and they go about their day. Okay?
Yep.
Sure. Chubb, more than 9 rushing touchdowns, and Deshaun, more than passing yards. It's like peanut butter and jelly. All right?
It is.
They don't go against each other. They honestly help. All right? Get Chubb to the goal line. All right? And, yeah, hopefully he doesn't land on 9. I think he gets 10. That's why I took it. I think he gets 10.
You go with a 6-piece instead of a 5-piece, so it's not the end of the world at least.
That is true. And let's scroll down here. Let's power through the last couple before we do some MLB talk today. Jay Jettis, less than 8.5 receiving touchdowns. Chad, this one is not for the faint of heart. Okay, not going to sugarcoat it here. But a lot of mouths to feed in Minnesota this season. And look, they're in the NFC, Javon. The NFC stinks this year. You've talked about it. The Vikings have a pretty good-looking path to the playoffs and potentially beyond. Jay Jettis, he might not have that many opportunities as everyone's expecting to need to be scoring touchdowns when this team is running the ball and running clock in the majority of the second half when they're up against all these dog shit teams. So I don't think they're going to need Jay Jettis, and they're not going to really be targeting him as much in the end zone. We know he's been more of a yards guy in his career so far. He's never really been like a 13, 15 touchdown guy. He was around this number last season, and I'm willing to go and double dip on his less than touchdowns once again, less than 8.5. Now they have Jordan Addison, who's looked great in camp. I think they got too many mouths to feed, especially when they get in the red zone there. And I think they'll be winning a lot of games and not needing to pass as much. Fading JJ, and you guys know that's honestly just like fading one of the GOATs who's up there on Prize Picks. Had to be done.
Yeah, it's your Aaron Judge.
Sure. That's my Judge Square. Had to fade the GOAT for pretty much no reason. All right. Gabe Davis, more than 775.5 receiving yards. Javon. Stephon Diggs, maybe he'll be drawing some attention this year with a healthy Josh Allen. He'll be drawing, double coverages, drawing the best CBs. Gabe Davis is going to have a lot of opportunities if he stays healthy to not only hit this prize pick square, but to get 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I like that. If he can stay on the field, he's going to be a chunk play machine.
100%. Yep, there's going to be games he has 0 yards. There's going to be games he has 150. All right, that square is going to stress me out. I already know it. And then we got Mike Evans to round it up, Javon. I couldn't leave him out. I couldn't do it. I couldn't sleep at night thinking about not putting this Mike Evans receiving yards in there. He's had 1,000 yards every single season in his
every
career,
single season. Yep,
not this year. That shit's over. Give me the less than 920.5 receiving yards. He's a fossil. He's hurt. He might get traded. He's got Baker to QB. He's got an absolute moose shit team. He's probably going to be tanking for a QB come halfway through the season. Fade Mike Evans this year. He's washed. All right, chat. That is the Crabs season-long NFL make. All right, tail responsibly, but you guys better put that in your damn slips. Plain and simple. Okay. Do we want to flash the BTL one real quick? I know you guys were asking about it. You were talking about it. We'll give you guys a chance to tail this. We'll see how quick Goots can really be here. Let's see how much he's been learning if he can get this graphic up quick. You're on the spot, Goots. We'll see if he can pull it off. We got the cheat sheet coming up.
Balling up a fist. I got his under in my go well too, brother. I ain't mad at it.
The Arnold meme. When he said best.
So mad.
100%. All right, we'll move. Goods, don't worry about it, bro. Let's show the people the survivor pool real quick now that we're talking NFL, and then we'll have Javon rip through the cheat sheet and give the people the MLB plays for the day. We got about 35 minutes still. Plenty of time. Chat, it takes literally 3 seconds to join the survivor pool, and let's take a peep at some of the lines, some of the options for week 1. We know Goods probably, he already has the Ravens locked in. Shocker.
Of course, man.
Ravens fan. But chat, this site's fire. This is the best site that pretty much everybody uses for their survivor pool, run their pool. So if you haven't joined the BetSpurt survivor pool, please sign up. All right, I'll put the link in chat. It literally takes a minute. Okay, sign up, get your pick in for week 1. You can sign up through the weekend before the Sunday games kick off, but try to get in before Thursday. All right, if they get too many people to sign up, they're going to cut the they're going to make it private. So make sure you guys get in here before they lock it up. A lot of people have been joining this week. We're going to be sweating it out all year. Everyone's going to be on the Manders week 1. They'll probably find a way to lose when I'm going to be in attendance. And everyone else is going to need to rebuy in their survivor pool or, go about their debt. I promise you, chat, I will not be on the Commanders week 1. I will find you another play so that we have a chance if the Commanders blow it. All right? Javon, who are you thinking about taking for survivor?
I don't know if I can get my eyes off the Commanders like the rest of the world, to be honest with you. It just might have to be the hill that I die on, but I can tell you I'm not taking the Vikings. That line's down to 5.5 now. Like, do I realistically think, I mean, as a fan, do I think the Bucs have a shot? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody with a brain thinks they have a shot, but I think their defense is going to keep them in that game. That's going to be strange. And I have no idea why that line is ticking back towards the Bucs. It's really weird. It's probably the only time I will not be all in on fading them the entire season.
All right. Maybe they show some heart and keep it close in week 1 while Kirk's still working out the kinks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be.
Trent Supergoods, that might be the freest prize pick square on the board. Not gonna sugarcoat it. I would have put it in if I didn't want to back him and root for him this season, but that's already green. You should be taking that. Okay. All right, chat. We move. And like I said on my tweet yesterday, I will give out $100 to at least 3 people in my BTL chat if I get eliminated and you guys last longer than me. Pause. You won't. Okay. I'll give away $100 to a couple of you goats in BTL chats afterwards. That's how confident I am that I am better than you at Survivor Pool. I know I am. I'd like to see you guys try. And you can win $100 too if you somehow make it. But I'm the GOAT at Survivor Pools. I got a win under my belt. You guys aren't lasting longer than me. Pause. Okay? We move. I'm learning from Big Dave here. All right? Javon, take us through your cheat sheet. It's about that time. Let the people know what's good on the MLB slate today.
Yeah, we can let the people know. Had a couple of home runs again on the BBP, which Trey Turner, I guess that's not really one I can be super excited to flex. He does it pretty much every game now. Altuve, 2 tanks, though. He respects so much fun when he's on the cheat sheet. But a couple of guys that I really like, especially those first 3 on the board today. Josh Naylor, love his matchup. Adam Duvall has history, and like I sneakily, he's going up against Zach Eflin for the Rays today. I don't know what it is, why I have such a good grasp on Eflin, but I think he's going to pitch really well. But I always pick out the guy that's going to do the damage, like I did it earlier in the season. Like he pitched a really good game against the A's when he first came over. Then Ryan Noda, like the OG time, he hit a tank off of him. I've done it a couple of times, and he's been absolutely locked in, and he demolishes every single pitch that you're going to see from Eflin today. So, like, I love his matchup overall, except when it comes to Adam Duvall. So I wouldn't be surprised for Adam Duvall to stay hot. Then Pete Alonso, mandatory anytime he faces Patrick Corbin. He's got the history, but he also take the history out of the equation. The matchup is absolutely fantastic, and there's a reason why his numbers look like they do. So those first 3 guys certainly have my attention. I like Eloy and Marte too, of course, but those 3 guys are high on my list today. Home run targets are the same. I do have a weird feeling about that D-backs Rockies game. Brandon Pfaadt, home run problem, like we've talked about for a while, a lot against any teams who are good against right-handed pitching, which the Rockies aren't necessarily, but I say this every time they face a pitcher with a home run problem or a hard hit problem, they hit the ball hard and they barrel the ball. So if we're looking for any matchup for the home run problem to kind of show itself again, I know this game isn't on Coors, but I wouldn't be surprised for it to be against the Rockies today, even if it's in a smaller sample size. So he's an interesting name that I'm targeting up there too. We can move to the bottom. This is a little, I'll talk about this over in a second, but I like the Mets bats against Patrick Corbin, but I also like the Nats bats against Jose Quintana. I guess in short, he doesn't strike anybody out. He also doesn't walk anybody and doesn't force any chases. So like this is the literal pitcher that you want from the left side against the Nats in every single matchup. Like this is absolutely perfect for them, regardless of who they put in the lineup today, regardless of how they've been hitting as of recent. So they've been kind of a league average offense against lefties last month or so, but again, they're still not striking out. They're still not chasing. They're still not walking because they're being super aggressive. So Quintana, I think, is in the line to go up quite a few runs. And then we have this game in Cincy today, where I like the over as well. And there's reasons for that on both sides. I think it's the first time I've put 2 Nuggets on the opposite side of each other. But for the Reds, Connor Phillips is coming up. Massive debut for him. Tough to make your debut in Great American Ballpark, but you got to get used to it. He has a little bit of a control issue. That's his one downfall. He walks a ton of guys. The Mariners are very patient, and they're going to force him to work in the zone, which, he's going to walk guys. That's just how he pitches. But when he does go into the zone, he might have some trouble not getting crushed, especially in Great American Ballpark against the lineup that's been crushing right-handed pitching. So I think he's going to have a little bit of a rough debut today. But on the other side, Bryce Miller, he is another pitcher that you don't want to play, or you don't want him pitching in Great American Ballpark. Gives up a lot of hard hits, gives up barrels, gives up exit velocity, and he's one of the Mariners pitchers in the rotation that also struggles against lefties quite a bit. And just like Brian Wu yesterday, he's probably going to see 5 to 6 of them in that lineup, a lot of them that hit the fastball really well. And you're throwing 60% fastballs, giving up a lot of hard hits, facing your worst split in Great American Ballpark. That's not a recipe for success. So I think we get runs on both sides of that game pretty early and often. So I think that'll do it.
Okay. We got runs in the Great American Ballpark tonight. Shocker. And we got runs in Nats Mets. I'm in. All right. We got a first-time chatter, W Dolphin. What's up, Beast? Little sprink emoji. Sprink emo. W's. Woodruff more than 17.5 outs. Phillips asking in chat. What do you think about that?
I really want nothing to do with that Brewers Pirates game personally. It's just such a weird game to me, such a weird matchup. I mean, that's why I kind of stayed away yesterday from whatever happened with Corbin Burns and the rest of that pitching staff. But yeah, I'm so good at that game. I have no clue.
All right. You want to dive through some of these games and see if we can find some winners for the people?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start with Minnesota, Cleveland. W squad ride last night, folks. Let's freaking go. And also, people forget we had a prize picks. People forget we had a prize picks entry.
Two-piece.
Little two-piece because Adley was out. But, chat, we did hit a prize picks entry last night. Was it the A team?
I think it was the B team.
B team? Adley, Giolito, and Kate Klubnik pick, legacy pick at the end? Sure.
Yeah. Giolito might have been the freest square he's had in years.
Great call. Great call. The only square we missed was Yelich.
Yeah, and that was fully on me because we had Monasterio in there who went.
Dude,
he got 2 hits in his first 2 ABs. So
the amount of
I
times
made
I've
the
done
late
that.
switch. Yeah.
The amount of times I've done that and chalked the A team. Give me a break.
Yeah, that was
A team
lost.
B team smack though, chat. We take a 1 and 2 day or 1 for 1, 1 and 1, and we move. Okay. W's. Let's go over this Minnesota Cleveland game. Shout out David Fry, because last night he did something that's never been done in MLB history. He threw 64 pitches that were under 60 miles an hour, Javon, and he got destroyed for it. I mean, he was getting roped. It was like he was trying to give up home runs. I've never seen it before in my life. A lot of these guys, at least they're trying to, maybe mix up something, maybe throw like a curveball in there every once. No, he was just throwing absolute meat. And we had the over, so no complaints. But man, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was, especially because we didn't even need it at that point because it hit the 3rd inning. Now we were getting to the 7th where they're approaching 20 runs. And they're giving up tags to Gallo and Goat, Barry Bonds, Matt Wallner. Love to see it.
I mean, Joey Gallo, that ball might not have landed yet, but he had.
No, 100%.
My goodness. All right. Well, thoughts on today's game. We got Sonny Gray, who is so freaking good. People forget. We got Bibi, who's also pretty freaking good. And we got a total at 8 after what we saw last night, Javon. Any leans on the total or even a side here?
Yeah, so I do lean the under, but I'm not going to go and take it. I lean it partially because of what we saw yesterday, yes. But, I love the matchup for both of these guys. The only thing that concerns me is that we saw this matchup happen last week, and they both threw pretty well in their games. So, usually I don't love going back to that, so I'm probably not going to today. But when I look at anything blindly in this game, no context included, any team that doesn't supply power for the Twins, a.k.a. Giolito gives up plenty of hard hits, plenty of barrels, allows a lot of isolated power. Tanner Bibee doesn't do that. So any matchup like that where you've seen really good starts, it's for a reason against the Twins. So I definitely lean him over Sonny Gray and a little under in this game, but I hate consecutive starts against the team, especially when you have both pitchers on both sides, the ones that do it. So I'll stay off, but I don't think we get much offense, at least early in this game.
Okay. Let's go to Brewers and Pitt. We got Woodruff. We got Jackson. We got a minus 175 ML that's not moving at all on the Brewers here, Javon. I'm assuming they're pretty public too. Totals at 8.5 in this one. Is the Jackson show over? He's got a sub-3 ERA. Can he keep getting away with it?
I think he can against a Brewers lineup. Because if there's any team that you kind of want the little magic to keep happening, it's against the Brewers. They're a pesky lineup, but you're also going to get plenty of swing and miss in there. So I think he's going to have a pretty decent day. I know the line's a little short. I don't love going back to the Pirates, though, after, yesterday. I wouldn't say they destroyed Corbin Burns, but they won the game. They hit him up a little bit. They made life hell for him. So I wouldn't be surprised if they made Woodruff's life a little tough, too. And, yeah, Yelich is probably going yard on the first pitch of the game. So you have that if you're a Brewers backer today. But, yeah, I'm cool in this game.
Okay. Let's talk about the Dodgers and Miami, Javon. I got a play in this game I like. I think Kershaw does his job against a Miami offense that, sure, they might be heating up a little bit recently, but now they're going to face Kershaw, who somehow hopped in a time machine and is now in his prime again. Good freaking luck, Marlins. And then you got Jesus Luzardo, who is extremely inconsistent. But if you can back him when he's on, he's one of the best left-handed starting pitchers in baseball. His strikeout stuff is at the top of the league, in my opinion, when he's locked. The only problem is he's young and he's, uncontrollable and he's, streaky. Well, right now, Javon, he's dialed. And this total, the juice is moving down, although it just moved up right in front of our faces. Can't make it up. Nice. Looks like now the juice might be moving up. I still like the under either way. I don't give a hoot. Maybe it's square. I don't care. I'm backing both these pitchers to throw gems today. And I think that total being at 7.5 with these two offenses, how they've been scoring, especially the Dodgers, is enough for me to take the under here in a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, I have my Luzardo concerns today. I'm not going to lie. I think this is a low total, and that's a lot of respect. So I'm not all in on, going with the over here necessarily, but I've been preaching this about Luzardo for a while. Whenever he's one of the guys, like when he faces a team that's good against lefties, especially in the second half of the season when he's been giving up a lot of hard hits and barrels, he's been terrible. So like the Dodgers, that's what they do. And yes, I probably would have expected at least an 8 if we were guaranteed going to see that from the Dodgers. That's why I'm not all 100% going for runs here, but I'm certainly concerned. Maybe we get a Kershaw masterclass and that's how it goes down, because I do think Luzardo is going to give up a couple. And then if we get into the Marlins bullpen pretty early, that's a scary place to be.
So you like the Dodgers on the ML, gun to your head in this game?
Yeah, gun to my head, but I try to be picky with Dodger spots, so it's not my favorite.
Okay, we move. Let's talk Seattle. Let's talk Cincy. You already touched on it. Is it the over?
It's the over. I think we see a classic Great American Ballpark game where, I love taking overs in Great American Ballpark, or I guess just when the Reds are involved because their bullpen's terrible. But now they have a bullpen off of a bullpen game, which honestly they pitched pretty well yesterday for a majority of the game. But Tax bullpen off a bullpen game. Connor Phillips making his debut against a really patient and tough Mariners team against righties in a hitter's ballpark. Bryce Miller, like I said, I think he's set up for a little moose of an outing too. So I think we see a lot of runs early and often. This feels to me like the Cubs game that we saw on Sunday, I believe it was, which was a pretty popular over. We saw a lot of runs early and often. I think the Reds went back-to-back or something early in that game. But yeah, this feels pretty similar spot to that.
I wouldn't mind, and I do like the over, but I wouldn't mind backing the Reds here in this spot against Miller at home. We know the Reds haven't been playing their best ball, but we've seen a little bit of life out of their bats recently. Seattle has been one of the best teams in baseball over the last month. They've got, one of their guys up there, Miller, who's not, Luis Castillo, but pretty decent starter. He's got a sub-4 ERA still. I know he's inconsistent, but he's way better than Phillips, who's going to be opening, I guess, or starting for the Reds. So in my opinion, that line's short. I like the Reds on the ML, but if you like the over better, I'm down to rock with that too.
Yeah, I definitely lean the Reds in this game. It's just it's a scary thought. Anytime I don't know the bullpen plans behind whoever's starting here, especially if you get it a little earlier than expected. But yeah, I think they're certainly live in this game, just like yesterday. Okay.
Can I get the Rays report?
Yeah, I like them today. Eflin, outside of Adam Duvall, like I said, this is a perfect matchup because what he's been doing, especially with his breaking stuff and I guess little sinker cutter action too, he's been getting a lot of chases. He's been getting a lot of soft contact, and literally everybody in the Red Sox lineup, that's exactly what they do. So I think there's a reason now we see it up to minus 160. I think he pitches an absolute gem minus maybe a solo 2-run shot by Adam Duvall. It's I honestly think Cutter Crawford pitches pretty well too for what that is worth, I guess, in this game. I think we see a pitcher's duel at least early in the first 5, and then the Rays blow it up late in the game and take this game.
Okay, sure. And chat, we'll do some prize picks talk here at the end. Let's just power through these MLB games. I want to make sure we get to all of them. Okay. Rays ML, gun to your head, but you're not really in a rush to lay that juice.
Yeah, not in a rush. I think it's going to be like a 4-3, 5-3 type game. Sweaty.
Okay. Sure. Typically as Red Sox Rays games are, especially in Tampa. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Let's talk about Detroit and New York. Chat, my skin is boiling from last night. I'm trying to go to bed, trying to put my phone away. I'm trying to be better with that, not being on my phone until right before I fall asleep so I get tired. But then I see a tweet of Aaron Judge celebrating at the U.S. Open like he's in the World Series and about to win it. Guys, the season is still going on. There's 25 games left, and the Yankees haven't been eliminated. And to be honest with you, the way the rest of that AL wild card's going, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees had a little bit of life. And then you got Aaron Judge up here, clapping away, pointing. He's giving one of these, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if a Yankee fan didn't give him a freaking uppercut after seeing him dick around at the U.S. Open last night instead of trying to get the team into a playoff spot. I don't get it. I don't get it. He's the captain of the team. Do you think Derek Jeter was ever going out on TV, partying, throwing uppercuts, laughing when they were out of the playoffs by 8 games? Number one, Derek Jeter wouldn't let that happen in the first place. And number two, no, he wouldn't. Okay, if this is your guy's captain, if this is the guy leading you and the Yankees fans to the promised land and trying to end this 15-year streak of you guys not winning shit, good luck. Because this guy doesn't give a hoot about winning.
No. You know who is in the lab, though, for the Yanks? Jason Dominguez.
Yeah.
He's locked. That's a guy who's locked right now.
100%. How are the Nats looking? I'm still trying to figure out how you don't understand that we won a World Series in 2019 and you haven't won one since you had diapers on, bud. You literally haven't had a World Series since your mom was wiping your butt. And I went to one a couple of years ago, bub. Don't talk about your 27 World Series back in the day when Babe Ruth was, hitting home runs off the milkman. All right, I don't give a shit. Okay, the Yankees are poverty, and this is exactly why. Another example of why the Yankees don't win games. You got your best player midseason going to a U.S. Open game like he's playing in the frickin' MLB World Series. You're not even going to the playoffs, and you have a game tomorrow, and you guys could still potentially make it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
With that being said, give me Judge over fantasy score today because he is soaring. Soaring.
I will say, Javon, the tennis match last night went till like 2:30 a.m. So if he was there the whole time, he's tired.
I'm sure he was there. You think he gives a shit about the game today?
Absolutely not.
You think he gives a hoot about the game today? He was there till 2:30 a.m. Celebrating, doing uppercuts. What are you doing? I don't get it, man. If I was a Yankees fan, I'd be pissed. I don't understand why you guys let him get away with it. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Yep.
All right.
But I do like some of the Yankees to put up runs today, to be honest with you. I think we see another game where we see a couple of runs. I love Volpe today. I love Dominguez today. I think they touch up Faedo. And I think Garrett Cole. A couple of people tried to get sharp with this in the last matchup that was in Detroit. I wouldn't be surprised if he now gives up a couple in this matchup, and then it's a little weird when we get to the bullpens. Yankees have the advantage there, obviously, but Tigers aren't bad behind. But I think kind of leaning a little first five over here.
Ooh. Is Judge doing the damage, man? Just tell me now.
He might, but I do like Volpe has that hit run RBI up in Prize Picks, which I'd like to take that. Dominguez doesn't have a square, but guy like Faedo is another guy who gives up plenty of barrels and hard hits, and Dominguez has been crushing baseballs. I mean, it's triple digit after triple digit, and love the matchup there too. So both of those guys, I like them a little more than Judge, but could be their day.
Okay. Yankees -1.5 in the over. Yankees team total.
I don't know if I like -1.5, but it's like runs. I do think it's going to be a little weird for the Tigers off Garrett Cole. Seeing him so recently too, I wouldn't be surprised to make his life a little bit difficult.
Okay. Talk about the Nats and why you like them today, because if I do, chat's going to show up in an angry mob outside my door saying you talk about the Nats too much.
Yeah, I was trying to decide between the Nats and the over. I like the over more because I don't think Patrick Corbin's going to have a fantastic day. The Mets are kind of average against left-handed pitching. They've been kind of around the middle of the league for the last handful of months, so it's not like they're this killer offense. But I think they're going to be all right today. But on the other side, like the Nationals, like they talked about, Quintana doesn't strike anybody out from the left side. He doesn't get anybody to chase. He doesn't walk any, so he's going to be in the strike zone a lot and not with very overpowering stuff. So that's exactly what the Nationals want to see. So, I think they put up runs. I think Corbin gets hit up a little bit when we get to both of these bullpens, especially the Nationals bullpen. I think you're going to have plenty of chances for runs too. So I like this overnight. Hopefully we get a Pete Alonso Moose Fest too. That would be nice.
Okay. Yep. Pete Alonso owns the Nats, and I'm sure he'll do something against Patrick Corbin tonight. And he just threw a complete game shutout with 9 strikeouts.
Dude, just imagine. Imagine he throws like a no-hitter or something, and it's 9 strikeouts.
Yep, I won't bet baseball ever again if that happens. Grabs, I wouldn't count Corbin out just yet. Rumor has it in the clubhouse he knows about the GOAT. Wow. I mean, to be honest with you, he should, because I'm the only person on earth still backing this guy. I should be in the clubhouse with him hanging out.
You should.
The amount of support I give him. Jesus. I should be catching. Jeez, man. All right. Javon, take us through the last MLB games. We'll pull up the odds. I want you to just rip through and let the people know what you like as it comes to sides and totals.
Yeah, I don't love too much in the late nights.
Yeah.
I do like the Royals today. I think they sneakily get to Dylan Cease. I love backing Brady Singer at home, and he's been at his best. Obviously, the Bats are also at their best when they're at home, so won't go too much into that one. But I do like the Royals. Then late night, I do like the under first 5. Yeah, right out the trophy. I like the under the first 5 between Orioles and Angels. It feels like a weird little anemic game to me. Dean Kramer, we've been fading him a lot throughout the season. There's been signs of regression. Those have lessened a little bit over the past month or so, and we're starting to see a little better, metrics from him that make me feel more confident. Obviously, against the Angels offense, you don't need too much to be confident, but I think he pitches well, but I especially think Reed Detmers pitches well. This little juggernaut offense of the Orioles against lefties that we saw at the beginning of the season, they're still good, but nothing to write home about necessarily. And I think Detmers, too, they've been especially pitiful against sliders. And when he has the sliders working, that's when he's at his best. So, I think he pitches a pretty good game. And honestly, I think the Angels are live, at least early in this game before we get to the bullpen. So, feels to me like a 2-1 through 5, really slow start, anemic performance. Once we get to the bullpens, God knows what's going to happen. So keep me out of that. First 5 under there. That's all that I really love from the rest of the slate.
Yeah, the slate's moose, especially late. Chat, we'll go over these best bets one more time and get those up on the screen, and then we'll do the squad ride. We'll let you guys know our favorite MLB bets of the day, and we'll come on Trent's surgical stream today and give you guys Prize Pick Squares. How about that? All right,
Yeah.
we'll deliver some Prize Pick Squares on the Surge stream in less than an hour. You guys are going to stay on and watch anyways. So we'll do that. I don't want to rush the Prize Pick Squares. We'll do those on the Surge. But for now, let's lock in some of these MLB plays. I like the Diamondbacks first 5 team total under 2.5. That's a mouthful. Try saying that 10 times fast. Javon, I'm with you, man. I think that square that's up for our guy Kyle Freeland might be the weirdest earned run square I've seen all season with how bad he's looked recently. And I'm willing to take a stab at fading the D-backs in the first 5 of this game and praying with my fingers crossed that he does his job and doesn't allow more than 3 runs in that first frame. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I didn't talk too much about that either, but I feel the same way there. And one of the things that I was looking at too quickly, Freeland is at his worst when he is very inefficient and he faces a lot of teams that are going to be super aggressive, which at this point, since he's so bad, a lot of the better teams against lefties are pretty aggressive early on against him. The D-backs aren't great versus lefties, but they're also super aggressive early. It's kind of like signs of a young team. So he might be able to be super efficient and stay in this game. So I was looking at his pitching outs too as a way to back him along with that under-earned run square. So I think he can pitch a pretty solid game.
Okay. What book gives you first 5 team total? Luckily, I'm in a state with the legal books, and they all have them. If you don't, I still like the team total for them in the game. Team total under, if you got to back them that way. I like the Dodgers, Miami under 7.5. And like we just talked about, give me the Nats team total over 3.5 or the over that Javon likes. Either way, we're getting runs in that game.
There we go.
All right. Javon, rip through your best bets real quick for the people.
Yeah. Nationals, Mets over 9, Mariners, Reds over 10, and then the first 5 under 4.5. Late night, Angels, Orioles.
Love it. Get out of here. Get him out. All right. We move. We can pull it back up when we do the squad ride votes here in a second. We'll pivot. I mean, I say we throw a bunch of these plays in there, unless you want to go to the WNBA.
No, yeah. Let's stick to these plays. Prefer.
Can I get some W's in the chat for that Twins out?
Let's go. Come on, Trent.
What
5
a
units.
whale. What a whale.
What a whale.
That was a
What a
whale.
night last night. What a night. Besides sneaking the Padres, we all guapped up, the whole squad. The
Yeah.
whole gang. All right, we'll take it. Javon, you want to put that Mets over 9 in there?
Yeah. I'm good with whatever you like out of my 3 there. I feel good about them. What do you want to put in the poll?
Seattle, Cincy over 10 has to be in there. That's a donkey.
Has to be. That
That's
might be
fine.
that might be the guards over from yesterday.
Okay. Noted. Seattle, Cincy over 10. Okay. I'm down for that Angels, Baltimore under first 5. I don't know who's going to vote for that, but I like that play, and that's all that matters. Just trying to get winners up for the people, give them the options, and they choose. Okay. First 5 under 4.5. Oh, who the hell's signing up to vote for that? I mean, we could roll with those 3. I know you don't love the Dodgers, Miami under, and that's okay. You kind of talked me off of loving that too. Do you want to put the D-backs first 5 team total under in there?
I don't know. If we're going to back the Rockies in some form, like I wouldn't mind bringing the bats into it too. That would be
You
my
want to take the +1.5 or their team total over?
We could take first 5 plus a half. That's +110-ish.
Ooh. And more people could bet that on the books too. Okay.
Yeah, it would be a little more widespread.
I'm cool with that. That kind of goes hand in hand with that, angle that I had earlier. So I'm in. Rockies first 5 plus a half at plus chick. Barely +110, but we'll take it. All right. And what else, chat? We got Yankees Mets over 9. We got Seattle Cincy over 10. We've got Angels Baltimore first 5 under 4.5. We got Rockies first 5 plus a half. Is there one more play tonight, Javon?
There's one more play.
I'm not putting it in. Don't even say the name. It's like Voldemort. I'm not even kidding. Don't say it.
Come on.
No.
They're winning. They're winning that game.
No.
Reds?
No. Trent, no. You're so out of the lab. Don't even come into this right now.
So out of the lab.
Get out of here.
If it's the Padres.
He's talking about the Padres.
I'm clicking end broadcast.
Javon, no.
They need to put it in. Just know they're winning. Imagine if 2 weeks ago I told you the Padres in the bullpen game with Avila starting are favored over Michael Lorenzen.
It doesn't matter, bro.
It does.
They don't win.
It does. Just watch. It's going to be just like the last time. They had a weird series first against the Orioles. What happened? They lost the first game. Then they're going to win the next 2.
Fine, we're putting them in.
Dude, I don't care if Mima's got 100 racks on a 22-game win streak. I don't care if Krabs is a secret 3U whale. I don't care, dude. It's never the fucking pot.
Make it stop.
Nobody's going to vote for it anyway, so I have no problem. No problem putting it in.
Yeah, the problem is they are going to vote for it because they're trolls, and they're going to pick it to win.
Chad, don't fucking do it.
It's going to win, so I'm not worried about it.
Chad,
it's win. We should be betting the over in Cincinnati. I'm not going to lie.
Hitting.
The Padres are also winning.
Goods, get your Padres ass out of here. Get out.
I'm actually fucking I'm done with today, dude. I'm
actually
done with today.
I wouldn't blame you if you just clear the rest of your schedule, man, after that. Chat, vote for the over in Cincinnati, you bums. Go.
Significantly the better play.
Go. Get your votes in. Hurry up. The poll is in the Twitch chat. You got 1 minute. Hurry up. Go. What are we doing, man?
Hold on. It's Tatis bobblehead? No, dude. No.
No way it's Tatis bobble tonight.
Dude.
Chat, don't do this to me. Please.
I'm actually so
begging you.
pissed. I was eagerly waiting for the squad ride because I'm so far from lab, and this is what we come up with.
Well, you know what, Trent? The best play to take on the board today is the over in the Great American Small Park. So just know that going into search.
It is. Okay. You can do that because that's probably what it would have been the squad ride if it wasn't.
I'm gonna fucking.
Oh my God. I'm gonna throw up on stream here in a second if this wins.
We got a close one here.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go wait.
It's so close.
Please, chat, don't make me bet the Padres again. I sneak bet them for 3 units last night, and I really don't want to bet them again. Please.
Come on, yeah.
Please don't make me bet it. Please.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God. Let's go. Thank God. Yes. We got life.
There we go.
Oh, my God. I was about to have an aneurysm. Holy shit. Chat, you guys are some fuckers, man.
I think we still have to tail it, though.
Hilarious.
Trent.
I think we still have to tail it.
Dude.
I found 2 bets for the day. Let's go.
All right, get him out of here. God.
3. Put the Mets over in there, too. Big 3.
Big 3. All right. Chat, you almost just killed me here on the end of stream, but we got what we wanted. 101 votes. Chat getting 100 votes for the squad ride today. Seattle Cincy over 10. That's the squad ride today. Let's stay hot. 121, 82, and 3.
I'm gonna have to recount those votes.
Yeah, give us a recount.
And you try to manipulate. I'm stopping the count. I'm stopping it. All right, you manipulate however you have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the count there. All right, chat, squad ride the over in the Great American Small Park tonight. We've got Seattle, Cincy over 10. We'll catch you guys at the counter, and we'll see you guys on here tomorrow, same time, same place.